Before I get into this video, 85% of you that watch these videos are not subscribed. Get your life together. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, leave a like. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a like. And let's go ahead and get into this video. What is wrong with Kris Bryant? Because Kris Bryant has been in a slump for around 71 games now, including the 60-game season in 2020. And yeah, we're going to talk about what's wrong with Kris Bryant in today's video. So let's go ahead and get into this video talking about Kris Bryant. So Kris Bryant's stats in 2020, we all know that they were not very good. But so far in 2021 spring training, he just hit his first home run of spring training. And we're almost 3 weeks into spring training. He has a 200 batting average in spring training, 1 home run and 5 RBIs so far. 7 strikeouts, 6 walks in 11 games. So yes, he's been in a 71-game slump. So Kris Bryant's 2020, 4 home runs, 11 RBIs on a 206 batting average. In 2019, 31 home runs, 77 RBIs on a 282 batting average. That's an all-star caliber season, and he got an all-star in 2019. But, I mean, what is wrong with Kris Bryant? I think this is more of what I think is wrong with Kris Bryant. And in, I guess, an interview with ESPN, he said he does not enjoy playing baseball as much as he used to. And that's very concerning there if you're a Chicago Cubs fan. And I think the exact problem here is that he does not want to be on the Chicago Cubs. They manipulated his service time before he came up when he was clearly ready to come up. And if we're looking at his stats, I mean, he was tearing up the minor leagues and was ready to come up. But they did manipulate his service time. Now, if I'm Kris Bryant, I'd be mad, but I would be happy about this too because he would have been in the weirdest market ever in a COVID market. And I don't think he would have got paid as much as he would in maybe this year's free agency market after a possibly better season because he had a terrible season in 2020. And players had to take shorter deals or less million-dollar deals than they would have in a regular market. DJ LeMahieu, look at his contract, 6 years, $90 million. And that is a player that had an all-star type season in 2020 compared to Kris Bryant, who had a down season in 2020. It just was not going to be very good for Kris Bryant. I still think he would have got paid quite a bit of money, but he would have not got paid the same that I think he would after a good season. And that's in a COVID market. Teams don't want to spend money. And that's a problem in Major League Baseball anyways. Teams do not want to spend money, blah, blah, blah. But still, I mean, I don't think Kris Bryant would have got paid as much as he usually would have with him having that down of a season. You know how good of a player that Kris Bryant could be, but he's just not motivated to do anything for the Chicago Cubs. And I think, if anything, he is trying to worsen his trade value so he can get out of there maybe even before the season starts. I doubt that's going to happen, but at the trade deadline, he's going to lessen the value, and he's hoping the Cubs will trade him because he is not happy with the Cubs. I would assume. He just does not want to be on the Cubs. That is what I think is wrong with Kris Bryant. I don't think it is much of anything else, but he doesn't want to be on the Chicago Cubs. And, I mean, I just think he doesn't want to be on the Chicago Cubs. And could you blame him? This Cubs team had a major move this offseason that just pretty much was a back step. Not trading Yu Darvish for 19-year-olds was not signaling to Kris Bryant that they're committed to winning. And if I was a star player on the Chicago Cubs, that would not – I would be even more mad because that's ridiculous. You trade Yu Darvish for a bunch of 19-year-olds. And did you expect all your other players to be happy there? No. That's just not how it works. So that's what I think is wrong with Kris Bryant. Now, I could say that and he could hit two or three home runs in a row. But so far, this spring training, it's not been very good. In 11 games, not very good. I mean, let's look at some power rankings for 2021, 2022 free agents. I mean, the 2022 MLB free agents are absolutely stacked. You've got Francisco Lindor, Freddie Freeman, Trevor Story, Corey Seager, Carlos Correa, and as of right now, those would probably all be ranked above him. And Nolan Arenado could be a free agent if he opted out of his contract. Kris Bryant comes in at number 8 in MLB trade rumors rankings, which I think is pretty reasonable there. But yeah, I mean, I don't think he should be too mad about his service time getting manipulated there. because I think it did come out to the best for him because he gets another season in a 162 game season to see what he can do. And yeah, so I think it's good for Kris Bryant. I know he's probably frustrated, but at the end of the day, like it's probably good for him. He's probably going to get a better contract in 2021, 2022. And yeah, do I think Kris Bryant will turn it around? That's another question here. I think that Kris Bryant, I don't know. I think he might try to worsen his trade value just to get traded. But I still think we know how good of a player Kris Bryant is. And Kris Bryant, I still think can hit 30 home runs. It's not like he's washed. He's only 29 years old currently. So he's not washed. I wouldn't take much into account, but it is very concerning because if you can't hit spring training where it's not all major league pitchers, then I don't know what you expect yourself to do in the regular season. So very concerning for the Chicago Cubs superstar here, Kris Bryant. But we'll have to see. And if I'm wrong, well, I'll make a video. So yeah, that's kind of the problem here. I think. I guess you could say it's more of a conspiracy theory that he just does not want to be on the Chicago Cubs, but I don't think it's that much of one considering. So yeah. Another thing to talk about here is the Royals signed Salvador Perez to a 4-year extension here, and this was an $82 million contract that was their biggest contract ever in Kansas City Royals history. That is pretty sad, if I'm being honest. I mean, that is sad. That tells you how cheap organizations are these days, and especially the Royals. They are just so cheap. Now, I think it's a great move to keep Salvador Perez on this team. He's a veteran player that I think is a very good player. 11 home runs, 32 RBIs, and a 333 batting average. I ranked him number 3 in my catcher rankings for 2021, my top 10 catcher rankings. And, yeah, I mean, he didn't play in 2019, but in 2018, 27 home runs, 80 RBIs, and a 235 batting average. And he got that batting average up in 2020. So Salvador Perez is a really good player here. Makes a ton of sense for the Royals to re-sign him because I think that from Salvador Perez's perspective, it doesn't make a ton of sense just because why would you want to be on a losing team for the remainder of your career when, I think he's starting to get up there in age. He's got to be up there in age. Yeah, he's 30 years old, so he'll be with Kansas City till he's 35. He could still sign with a team when he's 35 years old and just really go for a championship there. But still, why wouldn't you? I just don't understand from Salvador Perez's perspective, but from the Royals' perspective, great move there, re-signing or extending Salvador Perez 4-year extension. Like I said, $82 million. We've also got Carlos Carrasco suffers a torn hamstring. This is big for the New York Mets here. Carlos Carrasco was their number 3 projected starter here. And, this is a big for the Mets because, Noah Syndergaard's already injured. You've got Carlos Carrasco now injured, and your rotation's starting to get more and more weak because, Joey Lucchesi is now your 4th starter. And, Taquan Walker, you've still got him. And that's the brilliant thing about the 2021 New York Mets. They have such a good starting rotation with a lot of depth that really save their butt. So you still have Taquan Walker, Marcus Stroman, Jacob deGrom, Joey Lucchesi, and I don't even know who their 5th starter would be. I don't. Maybe it would be, I don't know who it would be here, the 5th starter for the Mets. So yeah, it's probably going to be a decision that's made near end of spring training. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, turn on notifications because 85% of you that watch these videos are not subscribed. Get your life together. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, leave a like. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a like. Thank you for watching, and peace.